Every storm eventually runs out of rain. The question is, will you allow the storm within you to clear as well? Life will test you, sometimes in ways you never imagined. But the greatest battle you will ever fight is not out there. It's in here. So point to your mind-heart, because calmness and positivity are the weapons that win wars no one else sees. Let's talk about the first and most powerful principle: mastering the power of your thought. Everything in your life begins in the mind. Every choice you make, every emotion you feel, every word you speak, it all starts as a thought. And here's the truth: most people overlook your thoughts are not harmless. They are the architects of your reality. The state of your mind determines the state of your life. If you feed your mind with fear, doubt, and anger, what do you think will show up in your actions? Chaos, negativity, self-sabotage. But if you consciously choose to feed it hope, gratitude, and possibility, everything begins to shift. Think about it: two people can experience the same situation, yet one crumbles under pressure while the other rises stronger. Why? It's not luck, it's not chance, it's mindset. It's what they allowed themselves to believe in that moment. Your mind will either become your best servant or your worst master. And the difference lies in whether you take control or let it run wild. So how do you master this? Start by paying attention to your internal dialogue. That little voice that speaks to you all day long, what is it saying? Is it lifting you or limiting you? Every time you catch yourself sinking into negative thought patterns, pause. Replace the thought with something empowering, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. Because the truth is, your brain doesn't know the difference between imagination and reality. It believes what you repeatedly tell it. That's why great achievers in every field practice affirmations, visualization, and positive self-talk. Not because it's magic, but because it programs the mind for victory. When you master your thoughts, you master your emotions. And when you master your emotions, you master your actions. That is how calmness is built. Not from trying to control the world outside, but from commanding the world inside. The storms will come, they always do. But when the storm meets a mind that refuses to bow to fear, the storm loses its power. So the question you must ask yourself every single day is this: what seeds am I planting in my mind? Because your life will always reflect the garden you grow in your thoughts. Plant wisely and watch peace, power, and possibility take root. The second principle is learning to respond instead of react. This is where real strength shows itself. Most people go through life on autopilot. Something upsets them, they lash out. Something scares them, they panic. They live as prisoners of impulse. And as long as impulse controls you, peace will always be out of reach. Calmness isn't about avoiding difficult situations. It's about choosing your state of mind regardless of the situation. That choice begins with the pause. In that tiny gap between what happens and how you respond lies the power to change everything. When someone insults you, when life throws an unexpected challenge your way, your first instinct may be to react with anger, frustration, or fear. But reacting is easy. It requires no thought, no discipline, no control. Responding, on the other hand, that requires awareness, patience, and mastery over self. And that is why so few people achieve it. The next time life provokes you, try this. Stop. Breathe deeply. Remind yourself that no one else has the authority to dictate your emotions unless you hand them that power. Think about it. Every time you lose your temper, every time you let circumstances pull you into chaos, you've given away control of your own mind. And when you give away control, you lose the ability to create the outcome you want. Great leaders, great thinkers, great achievers, they all have this one thing in common. They do not allow the noise of the moment to dictate the quality of their decisions. They understand that emotions are like wild horses, beautiful but dangerous if left unchecked. You can't kill them and you don't need to. You train them. You take the reins. You guide them where you want to go instead of being dragged in every direction. Imagine the power of living this way, where nothing outside of you has the ability to shake you, where your calmness becomes your greatest weapon. When the world expects you to explode, you remain composed. That is strength, that is control, that is freedom. So the next time you feel the fire rising within you, remember this: you are not the emotion, you are the master of the emotion. Choose to respond, not react, and watch how life begins to bend in your favor. Gratitude is more than just saying thank you. It's a state of being, a shift in perspective that transforms the way you experience life. You see, The mind has an incredible ability to magnify whatever it focuses on. If you constantly dwell on what you lack, what's missing, what's broken, your mind becomes a breeding ground for frustration and stress. But when you direct that same mental energy toward what you already have, your health, your relationships, your opportunities, you create an internal environment where peace and positivity can thrive. Here's the truth: fear and gratitude cannot coexist. One pushes the other out. When you practice gratitude, you push out anxiety, anger, and negativity because your focus moves from scarcity to abundance. And the beautiful part: gratitude doesn't require you to change your circumstances. It only asks you to change your perspective. Two people can live in the same conditions. One feels hopeless. The other feels blessed. The difference is not in what they have, but in what they choose to see. Make this practical. Start your day with one simple question. What am I grateful for right now? It could be something small: a warm meal, the ability to breathe, the fact that you woke up this morning with another chance to live. This isn't just feel-good advice. Science proves it. Gratitude rewires the brain. It reduces stress, increases happiness, and strengthens resilience. When you train your mind to look for the good, you develop an inner calm that no storm can steal. But gratitude is not passive, it's active. It's more than thinking grateful thoughts. It's expressing them, living them. When you tell someone you appreciate them, when you savor the little victories of your day, when you find beauty in the ordinary, you are strengthening the foundation of your inner peace. So ask yourself, what do you have right now that you once prayed for? What blessings are present in your life that you've taken for granted? A grateful heart is an unstoppable force because it sees opportunities where others see obstacles, and it finds joy where others find nothing but complaints. The environment you live in shapes your mindset more than you realize. Your thoughts do not exist in isolation. They are constantly influenced by the people you talk to, the conversations you engage in, and the energy that surrounds you. If you surround yourself with negativity, you will absorb it like a sponge. If you spend your time with complainers, gossipers, and people who dwell on problems instead of solutions, their mindset becomes your mindset. And then you wonder why peace feels so far away. You have to understand that energy is contagious. Optimism and pessimism both spread, and whichever one you expose yourself to most will dominate your thinking. This is why it's essential to choose your environment with intention. If you want to remain calm and positive in a world that thrives on chaos, you must guard the gates of your mind like a fortress. That means being deliberate about the company you keep, the media you consume, and even the spaces you inhabit. Ask yourself this: who in your life inspires you, uplifts you, challenges you to think bigger, to act with courage, to stay grounded when storms come? Those are the voices you need to amplify. And just as important, who drains you, fills your mind with fear, doubt, or negativity? You may care for these people, but you cannot allow their storms to pull you under. Distance is not betrayal, it's self-preservation. But surrounding yourself with positive energy isn't just about people. It's about habits, too. What do you listen to during the day? What do you read? What do you allow to enter your subconscious through endless scrolling or mindless entertainment? If what you consume doesn't build you, it's breaking you. And sometimes the first step toward inner calm is as simple as turning off the noise that steals your peace. This is not about living in a bubble of unrealistic optimism. It's about feeding your mind what it needs to stay strong in a world that constantly tries to weaken it. When your environment supports your vision, your thoughts become lighter, your decisions clearer, and your spirit unshakable. There is something extraordinary about a person who knows their purpose. They move differently, they speak differently. They withstand storms that would break ordinary people because they are anchored in something deeper than the circumstance in front of them. Purpose is not just a goal, it's the reason behind the goal. It is what gives meaning to effort and direction to struggle. Without it, even small problems feel unbearable. With it, the heaviest burdens become stepping stones. When you have no clear purpose, life feels random. Every obstacle seems like an interruption instead of part of the path. That's why so many people live in frustration. They mistake temporary setbacks for permanent defeat because they have nothing bigger to measure their pain against. But when you know why you're doing what you're doing, when you know where you're headed, you stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and start asking, "What is this trying to teach me?" That simple shift changes everything. Think of it like a ship in the ocean. The waves will come, the winds will blow, but the ship with a compass and a destination will always find its way through. Purpose is your compass. It doesn't calm the sea, but it calms you. It reminds you that no storm lasts forever, and that every wave is carrying you closer to your destination if you just keep steering. So how do you find this purpose? Stop looking for something grand and complicated. Purpose isn't always about changing the entire world. Sometimes it's about changing your corner of it. It's about asking yourself, what do I value? What contribution can I make? What life do I want to create that reflects who I truly am? The answers to those questions are the seeds of purpose. When you live with purpose, distractions lose their power and negativity loses its grip. You stop getting lost in the noise because you have something louder inside of you, a mission, a vision, a reason. And once that reason becomes clear, peace follows naturally. Why? Because you no longer need approval, you no longer fear temporary failure, and you no longer let circumstances dictate your worth. One of the greatest obstacles to staying calm and positive is the weight we carry from the past. So many people live in chains, not physical chains, but mental ones, bound by anger, resentment, guilt, and regret. They hold on to grudges, replay failures in their minds, and wonder why peace feels like a stranger. The truth is simple: you cannot move forward if you refuse to let go. You cannot build a future while clutching the ruins of yesterday. Letting go is not weakness, it is wisdom. It does not mean you approve of what happened, nor does it erase the pain. It simply means you refuse to let that pain control you any longer, because every time you dwell on the past, you are stealing energy from the present, and the present is the only place where life can change. When you hold on to anger, you become a prisoner to the person who hurt you. When you hold on to regret, you become a prisoner to the decisions you can no longer undo. Ask yourself, what sense does it make to chain yourself to moments that no longer exist? The only thing you gain is suffering. Letting go is an act of courage. It is looking at the situation and saying, this will not define me. This will not own me. I am bigger than this. Forgiveness, whether for others or yourself, is not a gift to them, it's a gift to you. It is the key that unlocks the cell door you've been sitting behind, thinking someone else put you there. And here's the beauty: when you release what's heavy, you rise. You think clearer, breathe easier, and live lighter. You make space for new opportunities, new love, new joy. Things that could never enter while you were holding on to the old. So if you truly want calmness and positivity, ask yourself this question: what am I still carrying that I no longer need? Whatever comes to mind, let it go. Not tomorrow, not someday, now. Because your future cannot begin until you release what's anchoring you to the past.